President Donald Trump has announced a trade deal with Japan that he said will result in Japan investing $550 billion into the United States.
US President Donald Trump says the US has reached a trade deal with Japan. Trump says the agreement will see Japan invest $550 billion in the country.
Japanese goods will now be facing tariffs of some 15%. That's instead of the 25% tariff.
The cameras kept popping as Donald Trump strode up to the mic, grinning ear to ear. He dubbed it the greatest trade pact in U.S. history. Scribes scratched like mad while he dropped the figure. $550 billion, inked, locked, and allegedly ironclad. This was supposed to be his pinnacle, vindication that his tariff hammer was pounding allies into pumping cash straight into American veins. Yet mere weeks on, the whole triumph started crumbling in epic fashion. Tokyo yanked the cord without warning. On nationwide TV, Japan's fresh prime minister ripped the agreement to shreds, branding it a menace to their sovereignty. What kicked off as a White House snapshot session ballooned into a full-blown diplomatic tsunami. Per Reuters, Japan's finance crew stonewalled every penny until D.C. relinquished grip on spending it. The yen nosedived, Wall Street freaked, and the White House fumed. This wasn't just Japan bailing, it was the continent hollering, "Enough!" And lurking beneath was a query rippling through. Pacific Power Centers. Has America at last dropped the reins on its tightest partners? Come October 1st, 2025, Japan's lead bargainer, Ryo Akazawa, faced the lenses and outright rejected any U.S. monopoly over Tokyo's pledged dough. He'd keep project picks via their own dev bank, he insisted. It sounded like bureaucracy, but it was a gut punch to Washington's clout. Markets sniffed blood instantly. Pundits clocked that the Trump-Japan setup, hyped just months prior, might flop before quarter's end. Trump had unveiled the pact in July 2025 with maximum pomp on the White House grass, flanked by U.S. car bosses and energy tycoons. He hailed it as the biggest trade deal ever. Tariffs on Japanese goods would slash from 27.5% to 15%, funneling hundreds of billions from their investors into American shipyards, LNG, chips, and power grids. Bloomberg caught him crowing that America would snag 90% of the gains. The visuals screamed win, but off-camera, dealmakers from both camps muttered it was paper-thin and lopsided as hell. No real treaty, just a fuzzy political nod, ripe for twists. In Japan's LDP halls, the blowback hit fast. Ex-PM Shigeru Ishiba had inked it amid endless Washington tariff threats. By September, Financial Times noted his polls tanked under 20% over cries he'd hawked Japan's fiscal freedom. His exit? Slammed as surrender, not statesmanship. In steps, Sanae Takaichi, sworn in October 4, 2025, as Japan's inaugural female PM. She clinched the top spot, pledging to scrub lopsided pledges. Wall Street Journal pegged her ascent as a hardline reboot, channeling her late mentor Shinzo Abe. Tough on defense, wary of China, but rabid on Japanese autonomy. In her debut TV spot, Takaichi vowed any deal gutting national interests gets a redo. Those lines iced DC's glee. Commerce Sec Howard Lutnick, Trump's trade wizard, told Press America demands honor on promises. Privately, Treasury types fretted Tokyo might funnel the cash homeward, bypassing U.S. hands. Reuters later verified it. Japan was rigging a state-run fund inside the Japan Bank for international cooperation to boss the bucks from Tokyo. Markets jolted. Yen perked on bets of slowed dollar flows. U.S. defense stocks, deal darlings, plunged near 6%. Financial Times called it a stealth uprising against DC's arm twisting. Then the vibe hopped to Seoul. South Korea, under parallel heat, had okayed a $350 billion setup. Tariff breaks for investments. Post Japan's stand, their security advisor told Reuters, We can't cough up $350 billion cold. Trump wanted it up front. Seoul said no dice. Asia was ditching the U.S. playbook. Back stateside, Trump vented in a cabinet broadcast, "Dig this breakdown? Smash like, sub, catch our next plunge into alliance shakes remapping global power and trade."